K. Himaja, lecturer in EEE Department, SRRS Government Polytechnic Sirisilla. This part 19 presents the laws of illumination in electrical estimation and utilization of chapter 4. So in last class, I covered the different problems in illumination. Now today, the laws of illumination is the objective of PPT 19, part 19. In laws of illumination, mainly there are two laws of illumination, inverse square law and Lambert's cosine law. First one is the inverse square law and second one Lambert's cosine law. So in first one, inverse law, this law states that the illumination of a surface is inversely proportional to the square of the distance between the surface and a point surface. Next proof, let S be a point surface of luminous intensity I candela. The luminous flux entering means emitting from the source, crossing the three parallel plates having areas A1, A2 and A3, which are separated by a distances of D, 2D and 3D from the point source respectively, as shown in figure. So here three areas of A1, A2 and A3 separated by distances of D, 2D and 3D. For area A1 the distance is D. For area A2 the distance is 2D. Similarly for area A3 the distance is 3D. So the luminous flux reaching the area A1 equals to luminous intensity into solid angle So the luminous intensity is I into solid angle omega equals to I into A by d square. Similarly, the illumination E1 on the surface area A1 is, so illumination E1 is equal to flux per area. So I into A1 by d square into 1 by A1. So E1 equals to I by d square lux, means the illumination is represented, the units as lux. This goes to equation number 5. Similarly, illumination E2 on the surface area A2 is I by 2D whole square. So for area A2 the distance is 2D. So the equation in I by d square becomes I by 2D whole square lux, and illumination E3 on the surface area A3 is illumination E3 equals to I by 3D whole square lux. This goes to equation number 7. So from equations 5, 6 and 7, E1, E2, E3 equals to I by d square, I by 2D whole square, I by 3D whole square. Now this is the equation number 8. Hence, from equation 8, the illumination on any surface is inversely proportional to the square of the distance between the surface and the source. Means illumination is directly proportional to 1, inversely proportional to d square. Means directly proportional to I and inversely proportional to d square. So what is the law here? This is the law of inverse square law. Means inversely proportional to the distance. Means square of the distance d2. In the second law, that is Lambert's cosine law. In Lambert's cosine law, this law states that illumination E at any point on a surface is directly proportional to the cosine of the angle between normal at that point and the line of flux. So here it is directly proportional to the cosine of the angle between the normal So proof: when discussing Lambert's cosine law, let us assume the surface is inclined at an angle theta to the lines of flux as shown in figure. Here it is surface is inclined at an angle theta to the lines of flux. So see this one, it is the lines of flux. It is normal to surface area. So here the law is surface is directly proportional to the cosine of the angle between the normal at the point and the line of flux. Here surface, so theta is the angle between the line of flux and normal to the surface. This is theta. So from this figure, the surface is inclined at an angle theta to the lines of flux as is shown in figure. Now assume sum of the points PQ, 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 the surface area normal to the surface and inclined at theta to the vertical axis. Here see PQ normal to the surface and inclined theta to the vertical axis. Next, similarly RS. Now RS, the surface area, this is RS, the surface area normal to the vertical axis and inclined at an angle theta to the source, Here PQ and RS are normal to the source and normal to the vertical axis. Both are here. PQ inclined at theta to the vertical axis. RS inclined at an angle theta to the source. Here PQ vertical axis, RS to the source. So this shows the figure B. Next one, let PQ, the surface area normal to the surface and inclined at theta to the vertical axis, RS, the surface area normal to the vertical axis and inclined at an angle theta to the source, O. O is the source. Here O is the source. O is the source. So now PQ is equal to RS cos theta. PQ is equal to RS cos theta. Now just to see this one. Sorry. So the illumination of the surface PQ, EPQ is equal to flux per area of PQ so flux means I into omega by area of PQ, I by area of PQ into area of PQ by d square. So finally it is I by d square so the illumination of the surface RS means ERS is equal to flux per area of RS means flux per area of PQ by cos theta. So PQ is equal to RS cos theta, means I by dx square into cos theta. So from figure B, cos theta is equal to h by d, or d equals to h by cos theta. Now substitute d. The value ERS equals to I by d, means h by cos theta. So substitute in equation 10 now. I by d means h by cos theta whole square into cos theta. So is equal to I by h square into cos cube theta. That is equation number 11. Next, ERS is equal to I by d square cos theta, means I by h square cos cube theta. So these two are the important equations. One is I by d square cos theta, and second one I by h square cos cube theta. Here theta means the surface is inclined at an angle theta to the line of flux. Here the illumination of the surface RS becomes I by d square cos theta. In terms of h, it becomes I by h square cos cube theta, because cos theta is equal to h by d. So d becomes a h by cos theta. So ERS is equal to I by h square cos cube theta, or I by d square cos theta. Any one we can use, either this one or this one. Depends on the problem, we can use any one of the formula, either 10 or 12. Both are on the equation, the illumination on the surface. The equation 10 presents in the terms of d. The equation 12 presents in the terms of h. So definitely we can expect one essay question from this one, either problem or theory. So here two laws, inverse law and cosine law. First one, inverse law means inversely proportional to the square of the distance. So consider three areas, A1, A2 and A3, separated by distances of D1, D2 and D3. D, 2D and 3D. For area A1 the distance is D. For area A2 the distance is 2D. For area A3 the distance is 3D. So for first area A1, The illumination is I by d 1 by d square, means I by d square. For second one, the illumination E2 equals to I by 2d whole square. Similarly, for third one, the illumination E3 equals to I by 3d whole square. So E1 is to E2 is to E3 equals to I by d square is to I by 2d whole square is to I by 3d whole square. So the illumination on any surface is inversely proportional to the square of the distance between the surface and the source. That is equation number 8 in inverse law. And second one, Lambert's cosine law. The illumination E. Illumination is represented by a letter E and units as lux. The illumination E at any point on a surface is directly proportional to the cosine of the angle between the normal at that point and the line of flux. So theta is the surface is inclined at an angle theta to the line of flux. So PQ, the surface area normal to the surface, and RS is the surface area normal to the vertical axis. So from this, PQ equals to RS cos theta here. So the illumination of the surface from the figure B is equal to flux per area of PQ. So this finally we got I by d square. I by d square. So flux per area of PQ by cos theta. So finally we got I by d square cos theta. But cos theta is equal to h by d. Cos theta means h by d. So substitute I by h square cos cube theta. This shows the equation number 12. So from this Lambert's cosine law, the final equations are I by d square cos theta or I by h square cos cube theta. So any one we have to take. So in problems these are the important, either theory or problem we may expect. So where d is the distance between the source and the surface in meter, h is the height of source from the surface in meter, and I is the luminous intensity in candela. Hence, in equation 11, in equation 11 is also known as cosine cube law. Cosine cube law. This law states that illumination at any point on a surface is dependent on cube of cosine of the angle between the line of flux and normal at the point. Here it is the cosine cube law, means equation 11. Here ERS is equal to I by hx square cos cube theta. This goes to equation 11, so cos cube theta. So sometimes this law also named as cosine cube law. So now from the above laws of illumination, it is to be noted that inverse square law is only applicable for the surfaces if the surface is normal to the line of flux. And Lambert's cosine law is applicable for the surfaces if the surface is inclined at an angle theta to the line of flux. Here first law, inverse law, is only applicable for the surfaces if the surface is normal to the line of flux. Normal to the line of flux. That is first law. And second law, Lambert's cosine law. Lambert's cosine law is applicable for the surfaces if the surface is inclined at an angle theta to the line of flux. So here, because this is surface, theta this is theta. Here this line shows the line of flux. This is shows the normal to the surface. Normal to the surface. So Lambert's cosine law is applicable for the surfaces if the surface is inclined at an angle theta to the line of flux. So these are the two laws of illumination. This is the objective of part 19. Now, a small problem. A simple problem. So here the illumination at a point on a working plane directly below the lamp is to be 60 lumens per meter square. The lamp gives 130 candle power uniformly below the horizontal plane. Determine the height at which the lamp is suspended. The illumination at a point on the working plane 2.8 meter away from the vertical axis of the lamp. So first we have to write down the given data. The candle power of the lamp I 130 cp. So the illumination is directly below the lamp is 60 lumens per meter square. So the height at which the lamp is suspended. The height at which the lamp is suspended. And second one, the illumination at a point on the working plane 2.8 meter away from the vertical axis of the lamp. So first, the given data, candle power 130 cp, illumination just below the lamp 60 lumens per meter square. So the illumination just below the lamp at point A. At point A means EA is equal to I by H square. I by H square. So H equals to under root I by EA because we know the illumination. Because the illumination just below the lamp. That is point A. The illumination here, this is the source. This is the source, means bulb. Now this is the bulb. So the illumination exactly below the lamp is 60 lumens. So from this, EA equals to I by H square. So H equals to under root I by EA. H equals to I by EA. I means intensity, 130 candle power. E means illumination exactly below the lamp 60, 1.471 meter. So next second question, the illumination at point B means that is 2.8 meter away from the vertical axis of the lamp. Here, so from this we got H equals to 1.471 and D equals to distance 2.8. Now this is 2.8. So cos theta equals to H by this one under root 2.8 whole square plus 1.471 whole square. So finally we got 11.504 lux. So the illumination at point B equals to 11.504 lux. We have two standard equations for illumination in Lambert's cosine law. Discuss it. First one, illumination I by d square cos theta or I by h square cos cube theta. Here they are using this cubic law, I by h square cos cube theta. So finally we got illumination at point A is 1.47 meter and illumination at point B is 11.504 lux. A simple problem. Next one, short questions and answers up to till now. What are the topics we are covered? So what is light? It is defined as the radiant energy from a hot body that produces the visual sensation upon the human eye. It is expressed in lumen hours and is analogous to watt hours, which is denoted by the symbol Q. Next one, write the expression that shows the relation between solid angle and plane angle. So omega equals to 2 pi whole of 1 minus cos theta by 2. 1 minus cos theta by 2. Next, third question. State the inverse square law of illumination. So this law states that the illumination of a surface is inversely proportional to the square of the distance between the surface and a point source. Next one, state the Lambert's cosine law of illumination. This law states that illumination E at any point on a surface is directly proportional to the cosine of the angle between the normal at that point and the line of flux. Next one, define the mean spherical candle power. It is defined as the mean of the candle power of the source in all directions in horizontal plane. Next one, define MHCP, mean horizontal candle power. So the candle power of the source in all directions, in all planes. And finally define MHSCP, hemispherical candle power. It is defined as the mean of the candle power of the source in all directions above or below the horizontal plane. Above or below the horizontal plane. So these are the short questions. First one, what is light? Second one, relation between solid angle and plane angle. Third one and fourth one, laws of illumination. Fifth one, define the mean spherical candle power, mean hemispherical candle power, and mean horizontal candle power. So this part 19 presented, means concluded. The laws of illumination and one simple problem on illumination, means laws of illumination, and also covered the short questions and answers, 1 mark question. So till now what are the topics we are covered means the visible light of human eye, that is 5500 angstrom unit. So in general, the light varies from 4000 to 7500 angstrom unit. So for different colors, different wavelengths are present. So for 5500, the color is yellowish green color. It is not visible to human eye, not visible to human eye because the color is yellowish green. So the colors are violet, blue, green, yellow, orange, red, and infrared colors are present. At 4000, violet, and 7000, red color, and 7500, infrared colors are present. So for the low sensitivity is 4000 and for higher sensitivity is 7000, means violet and red colors. So 5500 is a greenish yellow color. Because at 5000 green color and 6000 yellow color, 5500 is a greenish yellow color. So red hot, also one of the term is present. This presents the temperature of the light or body. And also plane angle, solid angle. So plane angle means arc by radius and solid angle means omega represented by and measured in steradian. So and also the relation between solid angle and plane angle also presented. So y-axis is the solid angle and x-axis is the plane angle, theta. Solid angle means omega. The standard equation is omega equals to 2 pi into 1 minus cos theta by 2. In part 17 covered this topic. Solid angle omega equals to 2 pi into 1 minus cos theta by 2. And luminous intensity, different terms are covered. So mean spherical candle power, mean hemispherical candle power reduction factor means MSCP to MHCP. MSCP means mean spherical candle power, MHCP means mean horizontal candle power, and lamp efficiency means luminous flux by power input. Maintenance factor, beam factor, and reduction factor are covered. So these are the topics are covered in part 18 and part 16. Part 18 covered the problems, simple problems on illumination. So the total 5 problems are covered, basic problems, and these topics also definitely these are the important questions. From the illumination we may expect 2 to 3 objective bits for ESET as well as for government jobs. Totally 5 problems are covered in part 18. So this part 19 covers the laws of illumination, a simple problem and short questions and answers. Thank you for watching this video. Next class, I will explain the lamps, different types of lamps, means what are the different types of lamps using in illumination,